Now before we proceed further, let us now check out how a particular Java code runs internally. That is, what happens when we click on the Run button. So for that purpose, we need to first understand few terminology, such as what is a JVM, JRE and what is a JDK. Now first, the JVM stands for the Java Virtual Machine. Now as the name suggests, the JVM has the virtual presence in any device that runs the Java application. That is, it has no physical presence, it is only virtually present. Now if you combine the JVM along with some set of libraries, then they will together form the JRE. That stands for the Java Runtime Environment. Now as the name suggests, the JRE provides the environment to run any Java application. And if you combine this JRE along with some development tools that consist of the compiler and also the debugger, they will together form the JDK, that stands for the Java Development Kit. Now initially while installing the softwares, we already installed the JDK. So when we installed the JDK, we together got the JRE, JVM and also some development tools such as the compiler and also the debugger. So the Java Development Kit is all-in-one that contains all these elements. Now the question arises how all these together work to make a code run. Now suppose we have a Java file. Let us assume mygame.java. So each of the Java file that contains the Java code contains the extension of .java. Now we have a device. Let us assume this device is capable of running the Java application. So our target is when we click on the run button, I want to run this Java file inside my device. So what happens when we click on the run button? When we click on the run button, this file with the help of the compiler gets converted into mygame.class. Now if you notice here, this mygame is having the extension of Java. And here after the code is compiled with the help of compiler, it gets converted into mygame.class. Now what is the significance of .class extension? Now this class contains all the code in the form of binary code, that is the bytecode. So what is the bytecode? Bytecode is basically the language of 0101 and so on. It is a computer language. Now soon after this bytecode is actually combined to form a file. Like we have a file in our laptop or PC, we execute that file and then our application runs or our game runs. So this is one particular file that is executable in nature. So once we get the file, we can now use it inside our device. Now, in order to execute this file, we need to have a specific environment. And to execute a Java program or the Java application, we need to have an environment, that is the Java Runtime Environment. So without JRE, you cannot execute any of the Java application. So once we have the JRE further contains the JVM, that is the Java Virtual Machine. So the Java Virtual Machine with the help of some set of libraries is capable of running the application. That is, we can now play our game that we just created. So in this way, a simple Java application is compiled and finally we have the output in front of us. Now all these processes can be divided into two sections. On the left hand side, the process of conversion of the Java file into the class file with the help of compiler can be together called as compile time. That is actually handled by the JDK. Now why we are using JDK here? Just because the compiler is actually the part of JDK. And on the right hand side, whatever process that we can see here, that is running of the file with the help of JRE and JVM, it is actually known as the runtime. So the runtime phase is handled by the JRE that contains the JVM. So overall everything is divided into the two phases, that is the compile time and the runtime. And now at the end, let us summarize this video. So in this video we learned about the JVM, that stands for the Java Virtual Machine. So it simply provides a virtual environment for the code execution, and then we can run our game or any other Java application. And next comes the Java Runtime Environment, abbreviated as JRE. The JRE is basically the implementation of the JVM. that simply uses the JVM and also set of libraries to run our application. And at last, we have the JDK that we installed at the very beginning of this training course. So the JDK can be called as a complete kit for the Java application development, right from writing the code in Java language till the running of the application. If you have installed Java in your laptop or PC, then you can run your Java program along with its development process as well. So the JDK consists of the JRE that helps to run any application, and it contains some development tools such as the compiler and the debugger. So that's all for this video.